Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am an undergraduate in Java Institute for Advanced Technology. So, in this video series, we have talked about how to develop an e-commerce web application. As you can see, we are going to talk about the admin processes. Previously, we have designed the client side, and here we are trying to develop the admin part of the website. So, first of all, in last video I have talked about how to design the uh, admin panel, but I have not talked about the programming part. So this video I'm going to talk about the programming part of the admin panel. But before that, I have to find a way to make only admins have access to that page. So that means we need to make admins can sign into our account. So how I'm gonna do is, like, I will create this kind of a page. This is a very basic sign-in page, same as user signing, but instead of like user signing, here we have sign into your account, but this is the admin account. So as you can see, it's admins. So here you cannot put any passwords. So what happened here is you directly put your email address here and you send a verification code, and you can go to your email. So whenever you click on this button, it will send a verification code to this email address. So let me refresh. Okay, so as you can see, we have the admin verification. So this is the latest verification. I will copy that and paste that code here and verify. So now they let me redirect to this page. So that is how you sign into your admin profile and uh, reach to this level of the page, like reach to this page. So basically, in backend, what you have done is we need to make admins. We need to give a space for admins to sign in. So here we have added this basic page of admins, and right here we have this model where we can verify our account. So first of all, we have admin verification. So in JavaScript, uh, admin verification. So if I search for that, as you can see right here, we just send an AJAX request to this admin verification process, and we just show a model. So in admin verification, if I go to admin verification, right here we just send an email with the email sending procedure, as we have done that in previous videos. So we just use the similar method that we used to do with forget password option. So right here we send an email to the user, like send an email to the email whatever we put as the input, and we send the verification code as a unique ID, and we also store that in our database so it will not lost along the way. And when we send that, after we sending that, we show a model. So the model will be this model right here. So you can apply your verification code here. So there will be another function called verify. So here in this verify function, what we do is we just make another request to the verification process. So if I go to verification process, inside the verification process, we just get the verification code from the client side, and then we check in the database if there is the same exact verification code for the user that we have signed in. So if there is, that means we can sign in. Then we echo out success, and we also create a session, and we store this data about the user in the session variable called AU, so that we can get access to this. We can use that as a verification method. So finally, we just hide the model and we change the window location to admin panel. So that's how we reach to the admin panel. So in real admin panel, here we have get the we required the connection to the database and we started the session, and here we check as a if statement if there is a session variable named AU. So as I have seen in previous videos, like previously, we will create a AU session variable whenever you sign in and whenever the verification code matches. So as you can see, there is a one verification result. Only if there is one verification result is in our database, then this code will happen. So here we have this session variable. This will create the session variable. So in admin panel, we check if there is a session variable that already exists. That means user has been signed in. If so, we show the design what we have discussed in previous video. If not, we show this echo alert so that like anybody can understand you need to sign in before you do anything else. So next thing is let's go to the all the way to the top and let's start discussing our process. So first thing is we need to show our name. So as you can see in the website, we have to show our name. So we use that AU session variable that we have created just now to show the name of our admin. And then right here in this section, this is where we show the daily earnings and stuff like that. As you can see in these cards, first thing is we need to create a date. So we create a date named today, and also we get the date month as this month and date year as this year. So we're basically just creating the date. We're getting the current date. So and also we create these variables to store our details about our dates. Here we do another request to our database in our invoice page, and we invoice table, and we get all the details from invoice table, and we check how many results are there, and then for each result we iterate this section right here. So what we do is we fetch out all the details from the invoice page, and we check we get this variable right here, and we add invoice quantity, like we just add the invoice quantity from the first report. So whenever this for loop iterate again and again, this f will increase and it will give us the total quantity of every single item that we have sold. And here we have the date. So here we get the invoice date. So each time we have a date right here, like invoice has been generated, the date that invoice has been generated, and we split the date. So we explode date with these spaces, so date and time will be differentiated, and we get the first the zero indexed value of the splitted date. That means the date, not the time. Time is after the date. So here we store the date. So we check if the date is today. If the date is today, as you can see, we have get the today's value right here. If the date is today, we change this variable, we get this first a variable, and then we add the invoice total, invoice data as like total. So right here what we basically do is we check how much prices, like how much amount that has been sold within today. So we only get values about today, and we get the totals. So we add them again and again until we have all the values about today. So finally we will have total amount of today. So today's total will be generated like that, and same as that we get the today's quantity. So like that. Here we split the month. So we basically have the date, like the date. So we just split the month out of the out of that date with the explode function, and also we like I mean we just split the date, and then first of all we get the month, sorry, the year and the month. We get them separately, and then right here we check if the year is this year. That means the invoice has been generated within this year, and then we check if the month is this month. You might be wondering why we do this. We can just directly do if the month is this month, and then it will give all the result about this month. But when it comes to more than 1 year, like each year has similar months, so it might get confused when it comes to two different months in two different years. So that's why we use this part to differentiate and like minimize that into this year. And finally, right here we show the date of today. So right here we can see the today's date, so it shows the daily earning, and below that daily earning, so we just show the a variable where we have get the today's total. So today we haven't done any purchase, so it says it's total. So, and also like similar method has been used below. We use the variables that we have created right here and the values that we have stored in those variables for the daily earning and the monthly earning and today's selling and monthly selling, also total selling, and also total engagement. So right here there is one little difference. We make another database call to our users page, and then we get the amount of the amount of the users in our users table. So so right here we echo out the amount of users, so that means like how many users have been signed into our website. So we can get like total amount of users. So now I hope you understand the possibilities with this. Like just imagine if you need how many users have been engaged within this month. How do you get that? You can use similar function right here, similar if statement right here, and differentiate this user, like put that if a statement below this user number, so that you can get like the users responses within that date range, and then you can show that as some certain time period. So there are a lot of possibilities with that. You can create different styles with that. Also, finally we have this total active time. This is very complex part. So what we do is, first of all, we manually add the starting date of our website. As you can see, we create this date time model. We store that in a variable. So this is basically like a representation of date and time. So we represent the date and time with like this, and this this right here will generate that as a date time. So we store the date time of the starting date, and then here we have get the today's date and time. So this will take the today's date and time, and we give the time zone as Sri Lankan Asia Colombo time zone, and we have set the time zone to the today's date, and basically we are getting the today's date. And here we get the end date. So today date, we format that in this same format that we have used to generate, like give our very first date, and here we have the end date. So right here we basically say end date, but it's actually the today's date, and we get the difference from the very first date to the end date. So here we cannot just do like subtract this, because this is a date time to like different data type, not an integer. So we have to use this diff function. So it's basically written the difference between two date time objects represented as a date interval. So as you can see, we subtract starting date from the ending date, so that will gives us the time in between. So here we just need to echo out that. So we just take that detail, and we get the format of the year, and we echo that out and say year, and then we get the format of the month, echo that out as month, and we get the format of the day, hour, minute, and second, and like that we echo that entire section, and it gives us something looks like this. So if I refresh this again and again, if you look at the seconds, every time I refresh, it is like increasing, because every time we generate the new date, like today's date, it gives us the perfect result of the time that we have been active in this web page. So as you can see, it's already 2 months and 14 hours and 21 minutes with 28 seconds, 29 seconds. So like that, we can generate the total active time. So right below that, we have these final two cards which represent the best selling item and best seller. So best selling item, it's very easy. You just need to make a database call to our product uh, product sorry, invoice table, and then we get the uh, product ID, and we check like how much results are there. So if the results is like more than 0, that means like there are results. So as you can see, we get we fetch out the details from the invoice table. Only the date is today, so we use the same today variable to differentiate that. So only the details within today will be shows right here, and then we just fetch that details out and we store them inside our card. So we have to do like some other few database requests, like we have to do one request for the product so that we can get the product details. We have to do one request to the image so that we can get the image details, and we have to uh, get the details from the invoice once again, like the total quantity, we get that, and like that we take all the details and we shows them in certain areas. In case if there is no result, we show this dummy part of the design. And same thing happens here in this most famous seller. Basically we just get the details from the as we have done here. We check if there is like any invoice has been generated within today. That means there are there are sales have been made within today, and then we get the value of the salesman. So basically we fetch data out from the profile image corresponding to the product data user email. So that means like we get details about purchases that have made within today. So here we get the user details from the table, and finally we echo out them inside the relevant section. So same thing applies here. In case there is no result, we show this dummy part of the page. So like that we can create this functioning website. So let me show you how this bottom part works. I will just make one quick purchase. I'm gonna go to home. I'll speed up that process. As you can see, I have made a purchase. So right here it shows the most sold, and see one item has been bought like with this much of money.